Welcome to the Morning Update. I'm Erin Ramsey. COVID-19 vaccinations in Australia are due to begin by early March, at least 2 weeks ahead of schedule. If the jab is fast-tracked, it could be rolled out by February. Elderly residents in residential care will be given priority, followed by healthcare and border workers. Meantime, more than 1.3 million people across the UK have already received their first dose of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. That comes as Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirms more than 60,000 new cases in the past 24 hours, but he's far from convinced the nationwide lockdown will end next month.
When a very considerable portion of the most vulnerable groups will have been vaccinated, then there really is the prospect of beginning the relaxation of some of these measures. I wouldn't put it any stronger than that.
Border closures are again a contentious issue, with thousands of Victorians stranded in New South Wales after the hard border closure was reintroduced last week. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says it's in everyone's interests to get the borders open again.
That's an opportunity, I think, for Victorian government to continue to work through those issues. They're matters for them, and so happy to talk to them.
Victoria's COVID tracing system is again in the firing line after a number of businesses claimed they only discovered they were exposure sites through the media. Testing boss Jerome Weimar is on the defensive, saying getting in touch with the owners of listed exposure sites is not always possible before the information is made public.
There absolutely will be occasions where either customers at a venue or staff members who are working at a venue will let their venue know before we do that they have had an exposure.
Some Australian universities admit they've developed an over-reliance on Chinese students in recent years. That's changing because of the pandemic, though, with unis now forced to slash the number of courses on offer. A bluefin tuna has sold for more than $200,000 in the first auction of the new year at Tokyo's fish market, and nearly 40% of all registered voters in the US state of Georgia have cast their ballots in the runoff elections. To sport, Australia's batting lineup is expected to be bolstered by the return of David Warner for the third test against India starting at the SCG tomorrow. 22-year-old Victorian Will Pucovski has also been cleared of concussion issues to make his test debut. And Tennis Australia has overhauled its quarantine plans with just over a week to go until international players arrive for the Australian Open. In entertainment news, after a day of premature reports of her passing, James Bond star Tanya Roberts has in fact died in a Los Angeles hospital. Her husband blames a hospital mix-up for the confusion. The 65-year-old actress is believed to have succumbed to a blood infection after collapsing on Christmas Eve. It's believed James Corden may have helped Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde keep their relationship under wraps. Harry was staying at Corden's Palm Springs home whilst filming a new movie with Wilde when the pair reportedly got together. And Hilary Duff claims she got a painful eye infection from taking too many COVID tests. The star, who's currently pregnant with her third child, has to undergo regular testing while she's filming. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcasts team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.